So here we go with the walkthrough for AQA. It's Foundation GCSE, and as you can see, it is November 2023, paper 3, so calculators at the ready. Number 1, how do we work out 10% mental arithmetic, or calculators you divide by 10 for an easy starter? A few right answers for number 2, I'll just read you through them. The 7 is in the hundreds column, so you could write 700s, 700, words and so on, and numbers interchangeable. It's all good. Mark scheme allows pretty much everything. 3A, so the clue's in the name, they put it in bold. A triangle with 3 equal sides, equilateral. If you're not hot on the spelling, AQA doesn't mind, and same for 3B with the chord. AQA, more than most exam boards, do go with the old accept as a right answer if the candidate's intention is clear. Number 4, whether you've got a calc or not, when you're asked to write down factors, for me, always do them in pairs. So 3 15s and 5 9s. Any order you want. I'll go with ascending. 15 and 45. All good, no extras, obviously, and duplicates ignored, and so on. Question 5A. Whenever you're doing substitution, be careful with negatives, not a problem here. And if you're going to put it into your calculator, it will do the work for you. You might occasionally need to put some brackets in. And if you're not going to use a calculator, do make sure to follow BIDMAS. So G squared is 15 squared. Again, you'll either know it or stick it in your calc. Take away 2 lots of 63. That's 126. So BIDMAS applied, indices, multiplication, finishing on subtraction for 99. Rearrange, not a bad one here, so subtract k from both sides, and you get m for mother minus k for your 1 mark. Correct answer. For number 6, the longest side, the hypotenuse, is over here. By either counting or identification. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get the answer of 5 along, 3 up. Area of the triangle, well, just count the base, you get 8. Count the height, you get 4. Half base times height, in any order. As long as you get 16, you're picking up your mark. Number 7, first taste of some real calculator work. So by doing a divide, you work out the cost for 1 month and you get a mark for £19.84. That needs multiplying by 24, and that conversion gets you your second mark. 2 years are 24 months, and you should get the final answer, £476.16. That's better. Number 8, give the volume of the cuboid. Always check. Yep, there's no conflict of units. They're all in centimetres. You can simply stick them all in your calculator, multiply them, and again, units have been given, so it's not one of them where you need to state the units. It's just a bash into your calculator and round off to 1 decimal place, 69.3. Number 9. First thing you notice is you go, oh, salt and vinegar's 16, so each of these is 4, but as you'll know from drawing pictograms, the first mistake, Nikki has not done a key. That's the first thing. So as you can see, I would put an example because this helps with the next bit. That slice of pie, whatever the heck you want to call it, that circular wheel thing, is worth 4 based on the salt and vinegar. And that leads into the mistake for prawn cocktail. Prawn cocktail is supposed to be 2 people, So prawn cocktail should actually be, if we're using, it should be half a circle. You are allowed to state, mark scheme allows, that the key is inconsistent. So you can get away with that as a bit of a bare minimum. Number 10. First of all, you need to link the potatoes and how much you buy. So 1.75 kilograms. I'll do the answer in in pounds, changing the pence to pounds because the answer is in pounds. We get £1.47. Total cost. So let's do a subtraction because that will tell us how much the leeks cost. £7.56. And if there's 4 kilograms, we divide by 4. So a kilogram of leeks is £1.89. Bit of simplifying and bit of algebra for number 11. So I always go for x's first. 2x plus 8x gives you 10x. Positive 9y. Take away 5y. You're still in credit 4 of them. And you've got positive 1, take away 7, you go into debt, down to -6. There we go. This one, you'll notice that there is a multiply between the two things. So 0.5 is like that. That's really what you've got. The half is not squared. So it's definitely not that. It is the same as this one. All right, it's just like saying that 3/2 is exactly the same as 3 lots of a half. They are the same thing, they're just written slightly differently. On we go. Listing outcomes, never my favourites when regards, certainly with my electronic pen. So, must study maths. In no option, sorted. Not, and that means doesn't do history or French in block 1. Not to study geography or chemistry or physics or IT. So one possibility is maths, drama, English. Let's fix the drama and move on because English could be replaced with Spanish, could be replaced with biology, and it could be replaced with art. Always helps to be systematic. That's all the possibilities with drama as the second subject. Let's now move on. Replace the drama with English. We don't want to put drama in there because that's already been covered. So we now move on to English with the options of what's in block 4. And we have English and English. And we're done. We've got the 7 possibilities. Number 13. So, when you know how many are in a population and the probability of something happening in that population, you just multiply. So get onto your calculator for a nice 126. Similar to this one, get on your calculator. If you add those together, you get 1.15. Well, total probabilities should not be exceeding, should not be exceeding 1. 1 should mean all your population, should mean everyone. All right, so you can make the statement that at least, because it could be more, at least 0.15 of the students do both. As I say, could be more. On we go for Des. So big long story for Des. Let's take it one thing at a time. So each of the houses is marked ABC. The scale will come back into it later. Let's tell Des's story. So Des drives from T to A and back, so that's 1.2. He then goes T to B, on to C, and back round to the takeaway. So all his driving is 5, but don't forget the map, that's 5 centimetres. But let's convert that. Our multiplier is 3, so he's actually driven 15 miles. We can now move on. So he's delivered to houses A, B and C. So 3 deliveries, £1.35 each. And he gets paid 40 pence for each mile. Stick that in your calculator to find out that Des gets £10.05. Number 15, double number machines, but as always with multi-layered questions, one thing at a time. Machine 1, 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. 5 plus 18 is 23. The outputs are the same. So the statement we can make on the second machine is 30 times 3 minus a number gives us 23. So this number accounts for the difference between 90 and 23, or in other words, 67. On we go. So, which is closer? Now, when you talk about closer or furthest away, you look for difference. And how do you calculate differences? Do a takeaway. So calculators at the ready. If you do 2.5 take away 3/4, they are 1.75 away. Whereas 4 and a fifth, could call it 4.2 if you want, take away 2.5, they are 1.7 away. Slightly smaller, which means it is most definitely closer. And there we go. On to number 17. So number 17, bit of a wordy one. Don't be put off by the phrase arithmetic progression. It simply means it goes up by the same amount each time. In which case, it goes up, this one, in 350s. So before you read on, you can fill in how much it takes, what your score is at each level. It then mentions total. So first job, add them all up. Sorry, second job really. So the total of all the level scores is 5,500. Isaac's best score is 1,250 less. So you do 5,500. Take away what we're told about Isaac's score, and that gives us the correct answer of 4,250. On we go. So a strange one, linking good old frequency trees with no one's favourite Venn diagrams, but here's how you think about it. So the walking group, they walk Wednesday, Saturday. So the idea is a yes and a yes means both. Or in other words, intersection. I'll squeeze it in down there. I'll scroll down in a sec. This yes to Wednesday, no to Saturday is basically Wednesday only. And similarly, in reverse, Saturday only, and the no and the no, they are the neither people. So those numbers give you the following. So Wednesday only 25. That's the Wednesday only circle. That is the Saturday only circle. And the people outside are the neither. And there we go. Neither, neither. Number 19. So rounding. So don't forget to find your upper and lower bounds. You go up and down by half of the rounding amount. If it's rounded off to the nearest centimetre, you need to add on and subtract 0.5. Job done. Number 20, which of these is an estimate? Without wanting to waffle, it's always one of those phrases they always get you to say, work out an estimate for the mean of the data in the table, and the table is usually grouped. Mean of grouped data is always an estimate. Think back to those questions I'm sure you'll have done with that type of thing where you have to guess the halfway point for each group. Number 21. So, Carly's total annual salary, etc., etc. So, let's just go for £26,000. She gets a 1.06 as a multiplier increase. You could have done 0.06 to look at just the increase. That's entirely up to you. I'll stick with this one because it's always good to work with your multipliers, always good to revise them. Then we've got 4,000. Be careful, this is a decrease. There we go. So the formula for percentage change, or whatever you want to call it, percentage increase or decrease, is actual increase or decrease. So the total earnings is 31,200. The actual difference, you always find difference by doing a subtract. And if you're going to put it all in your calculator in one go, please take care and put the brackets in. But you divide it by the original amount. Carly's original wage was 30 grand. That writes it as a fraction, so you times it by 100 to turn it into a percentage. Don't just write 4%, by the way. It does ask state whether increase or decrease. And because the difference of these is positive, her wages have indeed gone up. It's an increase. Number 22. So the third cube number, you either know it or stick it in your calculator. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Obviously, then you're free to list your prime numbers if you want. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and you don't need to go any higher than 19. You only need one correct answer. So the smallest numbers are there. But you could have had 3, 5, and 19 would work, as would 3, 7, and 17. The 2 doesn't work because you do need 3 odd numbers. Number 23, they've given it away in terms of used trigonometry. So from the angle of W, our opposite is over here. Our hypotenuse is the longest side, doesn't touch the right angle. Adjacent is here. It's the opposite, which is useless. So this is a C-A-H. It's a cos question. When you want an angle, it's a shift cos. And when you want an angle, it's always a divide. It's adjacent divided by hypotenuse. On your calc, you should get 36.173, etc., assuming your calc is in the right mode and you've used the brackets correctly. So rounding off to 1dp, although you don't have to, it doesn't specify. I'm gone for 36.2. Mark scheme allows 35.9 to 36.2 inclusive. Number 24, slightly wordy, but certainly not the worst. So bag A, it's 1 out of a total of 5 for green, so 4/5 for yellow. We move on to the second bag. It's 3 out of 10 for green, so 7 out of 10 for yellow. Nice couple of marks. Work out the probability that both discs are green. That's top branch, top branch. It's this one we require. And when you move down branches in probability trees, you should be multiplying. So correct answer, 3/50ths. What's that, a decimal? 0.06. It's all good. Number 25. You could waste time and change the x's to be 21x. What a waste of time. The y's have a 2 as their coefficient. They're both positive, so same sign, subtract. So the y's disappear. 4x equals 52. Divide both sides by 4. X is 13. I'll pick the second equation, the bottom one, because there's the smaller numbers. 3x's is 3/13 plus 2y is 48. Take away 39 from both sides. We get 9. Halve both sides. We get the decimal, 4.5. Number 26. This length here is referring to this length here. And that length is the circumference of the open-ended cylinder. In other words, 2 times pi times r. So to work out the area, and I've scrolled down off it, area is length times width. So it's 10.2 times the 2 times the pi times the radius of 1.9. In your calc, I'm doing 1 decimal place again, but the mark scheme gives you that little bit of leeway. Over the page, onto the multiple choice bit. So, it's actually a parallelogram. Well, the area of a parallelogram, this will still refer to 2 pi r, and that is still the height. So the actual area is still the same. The area of a parallelogram is that distance multiplied by that distance. Length of the base times the height, it's the same. The perimeter, on the other hand, will include these slanted sides there, which, if you flick back to the original, the slanted sides will be longer. The 10.2 stays as the height, but the perimeter of this shape is definitely going to increase. It's a more than. And finally, thankfully, it doesn't ask us to give reasons each time, so whenever you see an angles question, write all over it. That's 72, because opposite angles are equal. That is 72, because corresponding angles are equal. And we can get rid of P, because P is 3 lots of R. So we can now make an equation. We've got a simple triangle here. 3r and an r is 4r, plus the 72 adds up to angles in a triangle, 180. So if you subtract 72 from both sides and divide both sides by 4, r is 27. But don't forget, it actually asks for p, so you need to treble it. And we get 81 for the size of angle P. So, hope that walkthrough helped, and I'll see you on the next one.